This is a good time to look at your TV because I've got a really great view here for you from the Punta Gorda Airport that kind of tells the story this morning.
Right?
No, yeah, this is not going to be an Arctic blast that we saw going back to Christmas weekend, but it will get down into the 50s, and for some of us heading into the weekend, the 40s. You know, they're used to seeing some of these storms, what they refer to as the atmospheric river, but not this many, one right after the other, back to back. So scary situation there over parts of California. Of course, we'll get that update on the Today Show coming up. I think we have some of the best weather here in Southwest Florida. Clear skies to the east, stormy skies back to the west. So this is what I'm tracking here for you on this Thursday morning. Since 1992, we've made massive leaps in our ability to forecast hurricanes. And a big part of that leap is an increase in computer power that allows us to quickly and accurately model the atmosphere. Let me take you back to 1992. This is one of the charts that they used to forecast where Hurricane Andrew would go. And circle this one right there. That is called NVES 98L. That's the one that we're going to pay close attention to. You should pay close attention to it over the next several days. Track, and even 10 to 20 miles can make a big difference in terms of impacts. But here's the takeaway.
Higher than this monitor.
That is, can we zoom out just a little bit? I'm not sure if we're as wide as we possibly can be. But the top of this big monitor, just to give you some perspective, is 10 feet. So that would be well above our head. If that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what will. This is the first time that I've been out here since Hurricane Ian hit Southwest Florida. And we were looking at building after building as we were coming in and just, trying to figure out, okay, I think I remember what that used to be. I believe that used to be a hotel. And it's just, you see the pictures, you see the video, but it's just different being here and seeing it in person. 6:15, and get ready for a lot of rain to move in by this evening and tonight. That's the big weather story today, and then we switch to the cold later this week and into Christmas weekend. It could be the coldest for decades on Christmas Day here for Southwest Florida. We'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to get you through today, prepare you for some of that heavy rain coming in later this evening and overnight. This morning, though, it's just about the cool weather. 58 degrees in Punta Gorda. We've got generally clear skies, 64 in Cape Coral. Several degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday as that chill starts to fade away. But look to the west. This is the next weather maker. It's going to be a big rain maker for us, and that continues to move in from the Gulf of Mexico. You can see some lightning out there. We've got some rain over the north and eastern Gulf of Mexico, and that is all headed our way as that system continues to develop. The NBC2 First Alert live Doppler radar this morning sweeping clear, and we're not expecting to see any rain out there through the morning hours, but after about 2 and 3 o'clock, those rain chances will start to go up in a big way by this evening and after sunset. So let's get right to it. Tracking your hour-by-hour weather today, 8:30. We're cool, but we're sunny. Some upper 50s north and inland, 63 degrees for Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Bonita Springs, and Naples starting off at 64. Look how quickly we warm up today, even with some clouds starting to build in closer to lunchtime. So by 12 o'clock, we're in the upper 70s, pushing closer to 80 degrees. And you can see no green or yellows or reds on the map by 12 o'clock, but through the afternoon, we're going to start to see some isolated rain move in first from the Gulf of Mexico, but there's a much larger batch on the way that will really overspread most of Southwest Florida, and you can just tell by looking at the color table. Notice some of these brighter colors, the yellows, the reds, the purples and pinks, and that indicates the potential for some pockets of heavy rain along with some embedded thunderstorms. Now, let me just say, we're not expecting to see a big risk of severe weather for this. The tornado threat, incredibly low. We're not even going to see really strong winds, although it will be gusty and blustery at times with some winds up to around 30 to 40. But it's mainly going to be a rain event for us, and it's going to last for several hours, starting around sunset tonight and then going through about midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning as the rain eventually tapers off by sunrise on Wednesday. So here's your threat tracker today. The main thing we're watching for is the heavy rain and even some localized flooding. The heavy rain threat at a level 3 out of 5. The lightning, the high wind, that's at a level 1. So that's on the low end of the scale, and we are not expecting to see any of those ingredients for even an isolated tornado today. So that part of it, that's some good news, but that much rain, especially with tarps on our roofs. I know a lot of that maybe not welcome, but this will help to pay dividends as we get into the dry season and that brush fire threat starts to elevate this spring. So dry morning, showers and thunderstorms will start to move in after 3 o'clock, more isolated, and then becoming more widespread as we get into the evening from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock tonight with a low of 65 degrees. Rain chances up to around 90% today. Wednesday and Thursday, just a stray shower tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to see some isolated rain as the next cold front, which will be an Arctic front, approaches. And there's that Arctic blast, some of the coldest temperatures for Christmas in decades for a good portion of the lower 48. And we are going to get a piece of that. We're talking about those low temperatures on Christmas morning as low as the 30s and 40s. And even if you're in the 40s on Christmas morning, I can tell you, it's going to feel like the 30s everywhere with those winds coming in at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's a look down the road beyond the weekend. You can see here, by the way, Saturday and Christmas Day, highs in the mid to upper 50s, so not even getting up to 60 degrees. Then we gradually start to warm up next week. I've got some more perspective on just how cold it's going to be for Southwest Florida this Christmas and how long it's been since it's been that cold, coming up in your First Alert forecast. There is, and that's what today's about. We're teaming up with Al Roker from The Today Show and our friends there at The Today Show, and we're going to be featuring stories of hope and inspiration after all this devastation over the last month. You know, it is hard to believe that tomorrow is the 1-month anniversary that Hurricane Ian devastated our community, and throughout all of that, there's a lot of stories to tell of, you know, people helping and pitching in and helping to rebuild Southwest Florida. It's going to be a long road to recovery. It's going to be quite the process, but we are definitely going to get there. You know, I was riding in to Estero Boulevard in Fort Myers Beach. This is the first time that I've been out here since Hurricane Ian hit Southwest Florida, and we were looking at building after building as we were coming in and just, you know, trying to figure out, okay, I think I remember what that used to be. I believe that used to be a hotel, and it's just, you see the pictures, you see the video, but it's just different being here and seeing it in person, and the force of Mother Nature and the water and the storm surge that literally picked up a lot of these houses and homes of thousands of residents here on Fort Myers Beach and just kind of washed them away. So we're going to be highlighting some of those really special stories here as we go throughout the morning, and also focusing on your forecast today. Thankfully, it's a quiet, really a refreshing morning here on Fort Myers Beach. Meteorologist Justin Hobbs has been tracking your weather, and you know, today we do have a front on the way. It's going to be a very weak one. Let's go to the NBC2 First Alert Live Doppler radar. There's a band of showers to the northwest, but they're not making a whole lot of progress southward, and you can see that position of the cold front to the northwest. I say cold front, but it's not going to bring us really any relief from the warmth or the humidity, and it's going to end up stalling out before really making it through Southwest Florida. Temperature is pretty pleasant. You probably noticed as you walk out the door this morning that it is feeling a little bit more humid. We're starting off in the upper 60s to lower 70s. We're on the way up into the 80s today. Expect to see a heavy dose of sunshine as we go through the morning, and like yesterday, our high temperatures will make it up into the middle to upper 80s. Rain chances very, very slim, but can't rule out at least a few isolated showers with that front in proximity just to the north of us. Coming up in your First Alert forecast, we're going to focus more on the rest of the week and look ahead into the weekend to see if there's any more big weather changes. And also later this morning, we'll be joined with the Today Show's Al Roker, and we'll be talking about some of the surprises that he has in store as they get ready to lend a hand and really shining the spotlight on Southwest Florida as we continue the process of recovery after Hurricane Ian. Live on Fort Myers Beach, I'm meteorologist Jason Dunning. Back to you. From the water's edge, it's the same Fort Myers Beach that we all remember. From up above, though, looking back, a scene of utter devastation. Still just 1 month after Hurricane Ian. But among the rubble and the wreckage, there's progress and stories of resilience. NBC2 teamed up with The Today Show to help shine a light on those stories of neighbors helping neighbors and lending a hand. One of those neighbors is longtime Fort Myers Beach resident Sue Krajewski. Her salon was a fixture in the community for nearly 30 years. Ian left her business in ruins, but Sue's focus was helping her neighbors get their lives back together.
Every home, every business, every person on this island has been affected by this, and it's just heartbreaking.
Sue, with her friends, worked tirelessly in the weeks after Ian to raise money for the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation. They received over $300,000 from selling hats and shirts, with one word she says underscores the character of Fort Myers Beach residents.
Resilient. That's our word. Yeah, yeah. And we are. That says a lot. That says what the island is, what the people here, and we will be back.
Today was Sue's chance for a start to get her life back. Live this morning on the Today Show, Sue got a big surprise from America's favorite weatherman.
We've got a few things for you, Suze. This is so that you can go to your clients. We've got we've got chairs, all sorts of portable equipment, so that you can continue helping people look their best and feel their best.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Just down the road in the neighborhood section of Fort Myers Beach, another story of resilience. This was the home of the Randall family, Brett, Jana, and Elin. They just finished renovating their 63-year-old home. Now, only the foundation is left. Ian took everything from them.
Literally, even today, everything that I have on is not mine.
Their family heirlooms and most prized possessions washed away in Ian's storm surge.
The town manager and his wife, they saved my family. There's no other way to put it. They saved my family by just convincing us and saying, no, please leave.
The Randall family plans to rebuild and got to share their story on the Today Show with another big surprise waiting.
I don't know that I would have the same outlook and spirit that if I had lost everything, you know, especially looking at your bond, your wedding rings. You talked about losing those. So we decided to bring you, again, from our friends from Wells Fargo. They told us how much this meant. We told them how much this meant to you. They wanted you to have these wedding rings. So I won't get on one knee because I couldn't get back up. But will you stay married to each other?
Yes.
All right, we love that.
And the final surprise of the day.
$500,000.
Yes.
That is unbelievable. Lester, I got to tell you, this is the biggest single donation we've ever gotten on Lend a Hand.
That big donation helping more neighbors in need all throughout Southwest Florida.
It wasn't just here, it was all through Lee County and all through Charlotte. And this is going to go a long way of helping them complete their mission and helping so many people. And that's the best story of it all. It really is.
We're local today on Fort Myers Beach. First Alert meteorologist Jason Dunning, NBC2.